Rolita's Cafe. Well, it started out easy. A quiet night at Rolita's Cafe. Men drifted in from the fields, not a lot to say, but a couple of beers, smoke, a shot of tequila on the side. Set everyone talking about their neighbors and their wives. When the door opened, dry leaves rushed in as she stepped into the light. A woman no one had ever seen had appeared out of the night. Conversation froze and drinks hung heavy in the air. With the grace of a swan, she crossed the room and sat in the nearest chair. Then small talk resumed as her scent filled the smoky air. Men remembered their mothers, a first lover's swaying hair. As she settled in easy, the bartender stared across the floor, remembering the words of a stranger who had been through the week before. He said, "Beware of a woman whose hair reaches to the floor. She'll be carrying a deck of tarot cards, but all the men will think she's just a whore." And now this lady smiles at him. Her dress shows her perfect form. She removes her hat. Her hair falls like clouds in a rising storm. Then moving like silk, the cards appear in her hand. She sets them on the table and says, "Show me a man. Man enough to look into the future. Man enough to look to the past. Come study my cards," she says. "Time is moving fast." Well, Mad Jack, he looks over. His name, it was well earned. He'd been driven out of every town and told never return. So she draws the cards for him. The ace, the jack, the falling tower. Queen of Swords appears. She whispers in his ear, "Jack, this is your final hour." Listen to my story, she says. 10 years ago, I was on my way to the fair, raped and beaten by the side of the road and left to die there. But for the kindness of a stranger, I would be lying there still. I've walked these many roads to find that man to kill. Well, a flash of recognition passes over Mad Jack's face. His arm pulls back, hand forms a fist. A voice whispers, "Maria, full of grace." And as he swung, she grabbed onto his arm and pulled herself into his chest. There was a flash of light from a hidden knife. You can imagine the rest. Well, they still talk about it. The sound of the slamming door. The bloody knife that killed Mad Jack lying on the floor. And how their struggle had seemed like a slow waltz, she in his embrace. And how she pressed the knife in his chest as she smiled into his face. But the lady with the floor-length hair still appears in their dreams. But in the light of day they miss Mad Jack, strange as that may seem. And all across the county, every murder, every mislaid coin is blamed on the whore whose hair reached to the floor. The lady from Rolita's